Hey, welcome back. This is CL Miller, Director of Marketing and Communications for Interlude Press, and I'm here with my partner, Lex Huffman, who's sitting out on what looks like a beautiful day. It's still pitch black here in Los Angeles, but it looks kind of nice in Ohio, where you're at.
Yes, it is a beautiful day out here today, even though it's going to be in the 90s later.
Yikes. Uh, and
Yeah, go
and
ahead,
uh,
Matt.
Annie Harper is missing in action. She's currently MIA somewhere on an island near the Canada border, and that's about all we know. We can't track her down. We think her broadband is down entirely. That's what you get for roughing it. You get no connectivity, and we lose you.
Oh, man,
so,
that's
so
barbarian.
it is. How can we live without our internet? I can't. I'm completely at a loss. Anyway, I want to start this before I even say what we're talking about today. I want to start with an ask we received a few hours ago from Stark Industries RD, who asked the following question. Fandom also has a lot of fantastic stories to not novel length. Is there a possibility of publishing a compilation of shorter stories in the future? Thank you for asking, Stark Industries RD. You will get some sort of swag for that. And
We
funny you
should
should
mention it.
ask, because that's exactly what we wanted to spend a little time talking about today. This won't be a long panel. It's not going to be the full hour like the other ones. But much like the stories that we are looking to publish, this panel will be short. If you haven't seen it yet, if you go to our website at interludepress.com, you'll see at the top left-hand side of the page something that says Summer Love.
Summer
That's
love.
Summer Love, yes. It is our current promotion. We actually kicked off our first submissions program before we'd even published a book. And the goal of the Summer Love program is to get short stories that play on the theme of romance and summer. And you can interpret that however you want. And we want to publish an anthology of them, and we're really looking to meet some new authors through this process as well. Although some IP authors may be involved in the process, but really what we're doing is we want to see what you got, if you've got a good story to tell, and so we're going to be publishing an anthology next summer. Every author who ultimately gets selected through this will go through the same publishing process that any IP author goes through: developmental editing, copy editing, proofreading. So by the time the book publishes next June, I believe, to kick off the beginning of summer, we will have some really beautifully written and edited stories. To give you just a few bits and pieces of it, you can certainly find it online. The submissions for stories should be between 5,000 and 15,000 words. We're looking at somewhat softer ratings than we normally can take, anywhere from a PG-13 to R, if you're using movie ratings as your barometer. Only one submission, please. So, work on it and tinker on it until you're absolutely satisfied with what you've got, and then please feel free to submit it. All entries are going to be judged blind. We don't know who they come from. We have someone administrating the program for us. They're going to make sure that all identifying marks are removed from them before editors get a chance to take a look and decide what mix of stories would work best for this. And hopefully we get a lot to choose from, and even those that aren't necessarily selected now doesn't mean that that might not be something we're interested in the future. We're also,
And be
obviously,
doing many of these kind of things, I hope, in the future.
yeah, in fact, something you may want to be thinking about is, 5 or 6 months from now, when the season changes to the opposite of summer, there's a very real possibility that we may have something going on at that point in time as well. So be thinking about what happens in wintertime and some themes for romantic short stories then, because there's a very real possibility we'll be doing something like this again at that point. We started the Summer Love contest the first day of summer. Submissions are all due in by Labor Day, so it's from beginning of summer to end of summer. And let's see, what else have we got here? You'll have to be 18 to submit. I know we've had a lot of questions about that. We're sorry, but in order to sign a contract, and there will be, the winners will get a contract to publish that involve a combination of a flat fee plus royalties for their work. And because of that, we have to require 18 and up. So if you're close, and I know we've had a couple of people say, my birthday's within a couple of weeks of that or a month of that, rest assured there's another one coming up in the near future as well.
And maybe we should say something about what kind of story we're looking for. You know, we're looking for a beach read, but not necessarily something about the beach.
Well, yeah, I mean, this does not have to be the surfer meets the lifeguard story. And beach read doesn't necessarily mean it happens on the beach. And in fact, you know, the way I've described it to a few people who've asked me about it is any creative way that you see to work in the themes of summer and love, go for it. Someone asked, well, could it be a dark story? Of course it could be a dark story. Or it can be a rom-com. It can be any genre you want. And, you know, that's where it actually gets kind of interesting, doesn't it? Because if you can think of a really creative and unexpected way to work those themes into a story, that likely is going to get people's attention. So, you know, the more creative, the better. We like seeing that sort of thing. Obviously, these are LGBTQ romantic fiction of any sort of pairing. Also, that's something that kind of stands out about this, by the way. A lot of publishing firms will separate out the M&M fiction anthologies from, say, lesbian romantic fiction anthologies. We want to combine it. We are looking for a diverse selection of stories. So please, you know, if you're interested in writing something that involves lesbian characters, bisexual characters, transgender characters, please go for it. We're really anxious to see that as well. It will be a lengthy process once it comes in, once your submissions are in. We're going to need at least a month probably to review them before we can announce any winners. And then after we do, we'll sit down with you and talk about, you know, first of all, what our standard contract is, and also then going into the process of editing, as you've probably heard a little bit today. That takes several months to go through as well. But you do end up with a really solid piece of work afterwards, and I know I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great to see. I'm a big fan of short form writing because I can't put a lot of words together, so I'm always a fan of short form writing, and this is something we hope to do quite a bit in the future. Lex, is there anything you want to add on this?
I see that we do have a question here. Do we have a set number of stories you'll be publishing, or does it depend on the length of the works you choose? That's from Amber. I think it really does depend, exactly like you said, on the length of the works. You know, I think we're looking for how many? Around 15,000 words per story, something
5,000 to 15,000. So we've got a range to work with there.
Yeah. So maybe anywhere between 5 and 10 stories, maybe.
It could be, depending on the length of the ones that are standing out and how they fit together, will all influence that. We don't have a set number in mind. It's literally working the pieces of the puzzle together. So thank you, Amber. You will get, you know what you're going to get for that? How about something that's got a summer theme? You sound like a writer, so how about a nice leather journal that is a summer theme for you? This is on its way. We'll be in touch. Or certainly the other thing you can do is contact us at promotions@interludepress.com. Let us know where to send this to you. And you've got a few moments if anyone else wants to ask a question. This is a simple one. We just wanted to let you know that it's out there, that this is ongoing. We've already got some submissions that have come in. We expect most of them will probably come in right around the end of August, knowing how these things usually work. but we do have several in already, so we're looking forward to a really good selection of stories. And if that's it, we can probably sign off here, because this is just, hey, we knew it was going to be a short session, and particularly missing Annie on this one. But if you do have questions, feel free to drop us a line at Interlude Press. There's an Ask if you're on Tumblr. You can just use that. And drop us a note if you've got any questions about the program. We're more than happy to answer them. Coming up next, other than me getting a cat nap, is our next panel is, very interesting stuff, at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to be looking at a couple of firsts for Interlude. We're about to announce our first imprint. That's sort of a sub-company of Interlude that will focus on a particular genre of literature, and also the first title under that imprint, and also talking a little bit about episodic fiction and how that works here. All of these things happening at the same time to announce a title that goes on sale actually next week. So that is at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. I hope you can join us, or of course catch us on YouTube afterwards, because this transfers over there right after we're done. So there we go. Be sure to write about summer stuff, submit it to the Summer Love anthology program, and hopefully we'll see you published next summer. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple hours.